बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। हेलो दोस्तों, कैसे हो आप? मैं हूं एन मोहम्मद आजम रियाज और आप देख रहे हैं जीएन न्यूज उर्दू। आज तारीख है
The 13th of May 2022. Russia, Ukraine, Chung. Ukraine war, investigating Putin's Victory Day speech. In a speech at a military summit, Putin made a number of claims about Ukraine and NATO. Ukraine war, Battle of Snake Island and control of the Black Sea. The Sorok crop has been in fierce competition for weeks, and its most important two battlefields are emerging in Ukraine. Analysis: the Russians are trying to occupy the Luhansk and Donetsk regions, while the Ukrainians are trying to stop them. And the borders of a river in the east are creating obstacles on both sides. Were angry, Russian troops were refusing to fight in Ukraine. Russia-Ukraine war, UN calls for end to school attacks after nearly 100 children were killed in April. The EU should consider Ukraine's membership, as it has. Ukraine seeks negotiation agreement on withdrawal of Azovstal troops. Ukrainian officials say a new effort is underway to secure the evacuation of the remaining troops at the Azovstal steelworks complex in Mariupol. Some important news from around the world. Queensland floods live. Rising situation in southeastern QLD. Floods with more heavy rains and severe weather forecast. Africa hides student beaten to death in Nigeria for blasphemy. The United States will support Finland and Sweden's accession to NATO during the Ukraine war. The White House says that if European countries choose to join the US-led alliance, Washington will support their bids. Finnish leaders announced support for NATO membership. Russia threatens retaliation. Cubans are arriving in the United States in record numbers. Smugglers are taking advantage of their migration. More than 1,100 Ukrainian refugees arrive in Wales. This means that more than one-third of the Ukrainian visas issued under the scheme have now arrived. Central items news: the report of the murder of the Palestinian journalist will be sent to the ICC. Shirin Abu Akleh was shot dead while covering an Israeli army raid in the occupied West Bank. Shirin Abu Akleh, what did the US Congress say about the slain reporter? Many US lawmakers have condemned Abu Akleh's assassination and called for an investigation, but few have named Israel. Anger is mounting over the killing of an Al Jazeera journalist. Al Jazeera reporter Shirin Abu Akleh was shot dead while covering an Israeli offensive in the West Bank. Is Israel a rogue state? The Israeli army killed Al Jazeera journalist Shirin Abu Akleh in the cold. Israel has approved 2,700 housing units in illegal settlements in the West Bank. Arrests of Palestinian children by Israel are under discussion. Israel approves more than 4,000 settlement homes. Rights group Peace Now says Israel is pursuing a plan to build illegal Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank. US President Joe Biden is considering a trip to the east during his upcoming visit to Jerusalem. Now Asian news: leaving Shanghai locked down for a whole new world outside of China. The North Koreans are wearing hazmat suits. Parade: North Korea announces first death from COVID-19. Tokyo is increasingly willing to play a major role in global security issues as it seeks support from Europe for its most important concern, an increasingly influential and expansionist Beijing. The returning Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Ranil Wickremesinghe, with the country mired in political and economic crisis, Wickremesinghe returned to Sri Lanka for a sixth term as Prime Minister. Sri Lankan President warns of ethnic harmony. Curfew extended. Sporadic violence and arson continue on the island, with security forces being ordered to shoot people who have damaged public property. Brought by the President of Sri Lanka, former Prime Minister returns 5 times in an effort to reduce the crisis. Sri Lanka's President will name a new Prime Minister as a victim of unrest amid the economic crisis. Unrest in Sri Lanka. Order issued to shoot soldiers spotted in Colombo. Sri Lankan troops rescue former Prime Minister after houses were set on fire on a deadly night of unrest. Sri Lanka is the first domino to face the global debt crisis. Sri Lanka is running out of food, fuel and medicine. Sri Lankans tell DW they have been suffering from food, fuel and medicine shortages for the past few months. Emir of Qatar Sheikh Tamim met with senior Iranian officials in Tehran. Emir of Qatar Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani met with Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and President Ibrahim Raisi. Yemen pledges $33 million to stop catastrophic spread. A stranded tanker off the coast of Yemen is carrying 4 times as much oil as the 1989 oil spill by Exxon Valdez. Climate change is causing dramatic heat waves, deadly floods and wildfires around the world. The Taliban tightened gender segregation laws in Herat, Afghanistan. Unique case in India, parents stand against son. Pakistani news: if necessary, Imran Khan can be arrested. Interior Minister Rana Sanaullah on Thursday said that former Prime Minister Imran Khan would not be allowed to spread chaos in the country and all decisions, including early elections, would be taken in consultation with allies. Prime Minister Shahbaz and key PML and members of his cabinet have been meeting party leader Nawaz Sharif for the past 2 days and giving him guidance on issues related to politics and economy. Are in London to receive 12 killed in Gujranwala road mishap. CCTV footage reveals that 1 person was killed in the blast. According to sources, a heavy contingent of rescue teams, police and rangers reached the spot after the blast and the injured were shifted to the hospital while the area was cordoned off. Hints to provide $2 billion to Pakistan this year. This assurance was given during a meeting between the Minister of State for Finance and ADB country director in Islamabad. The post of army chief should not be made a topic of discussion for no reason, Pakistan Army spokesman. A statement issued by the Pakistan Army Public Relations (ISPR) said that recent statements of important senior politicians regarding the Peshawar Corps commander. Low wheat production in Pakistan: will the price of imported wheat flour increase? Despite being an agricultural country, Pakistan has been relying on wheat imports for the last 2 years to meet its wheat needs. Wheat is an important food item in Pakistan and every Pakistani consumes an average of 124 kilograms of wheat annually. What does rising temperature mean in Pakistan? Rising temperatures in Pakistan, India and Bangladesh have sounded alarm bells. Environmentalists are wondering what the effects of global warming will be on crops and humans in a region of 1.5 billion people. Is there a danger of Pakistan going bankrupt? As far as seeking help from friendly countries is concerned, no friendship or enmity between countries is permanent but only a matter of interests. Each country makes decisions based on its own interests. That is why so far we have not received any help from friendly countries.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe this channel.